All right, guys, we got bottom in sight. I see the wall in front of us. We're still about 15 meters out. Yeah, about 15 meters away from the wall. They're slowly coming in on it. Hopefully we can gently make contact very shortly and actually begin this dive. So that was a struggle and a half for our pilots, so awesome job, pilots. All right. So what I'm seeing right now is just a few white fan sponges. Definitely different species than we saw yesterday. Yesterday we were having those really long, flat mitten type hexactinellids we actually collected. This looks like more of a ball-shaped sponges. They're still white, which is typical of this depth. They could be demo sponges or hexactinellids. We can't really tell from this distance. I believe I'm seeing a humongous rock. It's probably 3 or 4 meters tall. And it is coated in this black coating, which I'm sure Kim, who's listening, can tell me what that is. Our depth is 3,205 meters, and we are going to settle down. Ooh, that's a neat sponge. Settle down and get comfortable. Let the ROV pilots get into position before we can move up or down the wall. But we have finally made it, so this is awesome. We're about 10 meters off bottom. So hey, Chris, what do you think these white ball sponges are if you're able to see them? I see it maybe after Callistes at 9 o'clock under that rock. I'm a little far away, so I can't quite tell. And Nolan is saying these are Geodia sponges. And this is on the lower end of the extent of the species. All right, that looks like a dead hexactinellid to me. This gray tubular shaped sponge. Tiltiids. They could be tiltiids, or Geodia species, is what Chris Diaz is saying. Again, that we have this light coating of fine sediment, looks like, on top of most of these rocks. And I think the most abundant species is probably these small cream-colored Geodia sponges, these little ball sponges. And I see at least one hexactinellid or 2 hexactinellids, maybe a Roselidae at 3. No, we got another ophiuroid here. Yep, we got a Notostrella at 3. I think I see some Gorgonians at 3 o'clock, also at 4 o'clock at the bottom of this rock. And I keep seeing this grayed out fan-shaped semi-encruster. It has that color of the dead sponges usually have, this like super grayed out, but it's very unique in its texture. I'm not sure what to call it. Yeah, we are 3,205 meters right now. I believe the top ledge is about 2,950. Yeah, we're about 200 meters below the edge of that plateau.
That looks like a little bamboo coral there, Stephanie.
Yeah, I think so. There's one at noon, and then there's some at 6 underneath this little outcrop. Really fine ones.
Yeah, I see those as well.
Mm-hmm.
That's reminiscent of yesterday as well. We had these sort of sparse branching bamboos and lots of sponges.
Mm-hmm. These sponges here are way different, though. We didn't have this many geotids. It was more of those white hexactinellid, flat mitten-shaped. Nolan Barrett's saying that that grayed out sponge is likely a hexactinellid named Chenilosma. Did somebody call in?
Hello, Christine is here.
Hi, Chris. How are you?
How are you?
Good.
I'm very excited about.
Look at all these sponges.
I was sweating with you and the pilot.
Isn't that awesome? I'm so glad we finally made it to the bottom. I know how difficult that was watching our pilots. I was trying to be super quiet.
Yes, it's incredible. We give it for granted that it's so easy, but we can see how difficult it can be to encounter the world, no?
Yes,
So are we at 200 meters?
We are at 3,205 meters.
Oh my God, at 3,000.
3,000 meters underwater, so it's roughly 8.5 Empire State Buildings stacked end on end. That's how deep underwater we are. So this is very deep. Yesterday we were about the same depth, but the sponges we were seeing yesterday are totally different. These are I'm thinking geotids. Most of these geotids. And
some geotids,
yeah.
But really, this is definitely a very different aggregation, and there's many different astrophorids. I can see some that look more like Pacastrelli, which has, Pacastrella, Craniella, different genera, and definitely now you can see this round shape. With a lighter color on the top and flat, that probably are geodias.
Geodia, yeah, that big sieve plate that they have, right?
Yes. Then you have these thick cups. There's a few genera of Pacastrellids that have these shapes. But this is an incredible different aggregation that you guys have encountered. And it's surprising for me that they're not hexactinellids as well. But
I think I see a hexactinellid at 9 o'clock. I don't know if the pilots are able to zoom and stuff right now because they're still trying to acquire bottom. But
wow.
Okay.
Also, the texture of the bottom is so different. From
the rocks here are really pockmarked. Yesterday they were much more smooth and rounded, like they had been eroded. These look like almost like there's almost looks volcanic, right, with a pockmark texture. I would imagine it's really sharp if you touched it. It's pretty neat. And we're seeing this gray hexactinellid at 3. This keeps popping up. That's really large and gray. And Nolan Barrett was saying it's Choneselamella. I don't know how to say that. I'm sure you do.
Wow.
Chonelesma. Is that right? Chonelasma. Thank you, Scott. That's a new one to me. I've never seen that one before. There might be a hex, too, at 10 o'clock. And I definitely see a squat lobster at 9, little white squat lobster. It might have been the same species we saw yesterday, which I was told after the dive may have been a new species. We did try to collect, but he, of course, scooted out of the way because they're very modal.
Yeah. This is really incredible. All these astrophorids that include Pacastrelli, Geodias, Craniellas, Poecilastras, they are very slow growers. They're packed, they're very hard. They have the ones that are round have a radial arrangement of the skeleton, huge spicules, and very slow growers. They need a lot of silica in the water.
Yeah.
So they evidently are blooming here. They are you find geodias you find in shallow waters, but pacastrelas are more from deeper waters. Below in the Mesophotic and in the deep water. This is incredible, and I think if it continues like this, it's going to be another sponge day.
Yeah, it's a very nice sponge day. Yeah, they're everywhere.
Another sponge day.
Yeah.
There's many species. They look round, but there's several different things in all these parts. And it looks like you have some hexactinelids coming.
Yeah, this fan hexactinellid, I wonder if that's the same species we were seeing earlier. It was kind of grayed out. It looks like it has a brittle star on the bottom side of it, but I may not be able to see that on the shore side. It was a very faint pink color. Yeah, we're coming up this wall. Oh, you're fine. You're fine. You take your time. You're safe.
Oh, no apps.
What, Chris?
Yes, I'm going to write to Paco Cárdenas, which is the king of the Hastrophorids, to see if he can join us.
Okay.
Because I think this is an incredible view.
Yeah, it's nice.
I'll come back.
Okay, enjoy.
I will be in the chat.
Oh, perfect. That helps me with my spelling when I have to do my reports at the end of the day. So please type away.
Conolasma. I got it on you. Got it for you. I'm back, partner.
Hi, Alan. Nice. So you haven't really missed much. We just acquired bottom.
I saw when we acquired the bottom, and I see that we have lots of different types of sponges and inhabiting these rocks.
Like street wall almost we're looking at.
Now, have we seen anything other than a sponge?
There was a few bamboo corals, an ophiuroid or two, and I did see that white squat lobster that looks similar to the one you saw yesterday.
Wonderful.
There have been a couple of the little small anthomastus type mushroom corals.
Okay, I missed that. An anthomastus. So these rocks are different from yesterday. That I was saying they're like really pockmarked. Like they almost look like. I'm sure they're not, but they look like lava, right in Hawaii. That really pockmarky bubbles, bubbles in it. But I don't know what this is, how this is made.
It's carbonates, right?
So I would think, but I'm totally ignorant of geology. So it looks like we might have some Ficalia and a really possible slit shell or something at 3, unless that was just a funny sponge. Yeah, these little fans, my guess would be Ficalia. If we turned and looked the other direction at them, they probably have that veining pattern. What do you think these white clouds are? These little white cloudy things? They're hexactinellids, maybe?
I was wondering if they're hexactinellids, but I think they might be demo sponges. Of course they might be. But
So just to break in here a little bit, since you're talking about the geology, Carolyn Ruppel has been providing a lot of good information in the chat room, and she notes we're on a carbonate platform, which is limestone, and so there's been a lot of erosion. So I think a lot of the pitting that you're seeing is erosional feature, and the reason it's black is because there's a ferromanganese crust. Basically, this ferromanganese chemicals precipitate out of the water onto the surface of anything that's in place for a long enough period of time, and we're talking about hundreds of millions of years. This platform has been here, this limestone platform, and this has gotten both eroded and precipitated on. So that's basically what you're seeing. And then there's some breaking up of it as it erodes, and different pieces and chunks fall off.
Get a close look on
Scott. Thank you.
A sponge at.
Yeah, that'd be great. If we're ready to zoom.
Yeah, at about 10 o'clock, 11, or any of them actually. Sure. Oh, and I see the squat lobster there.
All right, so we're going to zoom in. Yeah, there's a squat lobster above this camera. Look how this is clear. It almost looks like a cloud. a poofy cloud sponge.
It's very similar to the texture of the little mitts that we collected yesterday.
There's a little green ophiuroid on it, and behind it looks like a geodia, that ball sponge that's brown. You can actually see a large oscule on the top. And again, at 11, you've got another possible geodid with that sieve plate top on top of it. It looks like this species at 4 is different than this little cloud species we've got here. Yeah.
Sounds good.
Yep, I think I see a gorgonian at 3 o'clock. Here we go, squat lobster.
Nice little white squat lobster.
He is really white.
And
Look how cool he is.
that guy's...
He's really neat. You can see his pincher fingers, right? So a lot of the times they'll perk themselves. I don't know about this species in particular, but a lot of times they'll perk them. The squat lobsters will perk themselves up on top of a tall gorgonian or a tall sponge and hold out their little pincher fingers and catch stuff in the water column. You also have like an isopod or an amphipod at noon, right on that sponge, as well as I believe a hydroid.
Ooh,
Little tiny
couple
hydroid at 1 o'clock.
Solitary hydroids. Oh, I like that.
And that's an amphipod on the
Amphipod, okay. Thank you.
Sort of pinkish eyes and red head.
More fan sponges. This looks like the same species we were seeing earlier, except this one's alive at 11. The ones we were seeing.
Squat lobsters are interesting. There's sort of two main groups, and there's one like the one we were just looking at there, which is very commonly seen on the sea floor, belongs to the family Mutopsidae. And then there's another whole group, family Chirostylidae, that associate with corals and sponges. Their morphology is such that they have legs that are adapted to grasp onto those corals with their back legs while they sort of feed with the front legs. So similar in that they're squat lobsters, a little, small little abdomen sort of tucked under the thorax, but have evolved to inhabit different deep sea niches.
Thank you, Scott.
Yeah. We zoom in here, we see a lot more diversity. We get the anemones there, and
Yeah, the flytrap anemones. There might be a white gorgonian fan that we're backing out away from. Oh, here's the sponge we saw yesterday. The flat fan sponge. It looked kind of like a mitten. So I see 2 of those. It's interesting that these like white cloudy sponges kind of grow in lines.
yeah.
It's neat.
I've seen these lines of sponges before on other dives, and I've wondered, what's the pattern of recruitment there? Is this just that they're the local high points, and that's where the larvae go, or is it one sponge gets there and then they have crawl-away larvae that just sort of grow next to them?
Yeah, it's in rows. It's weird.
Yeah, well, the larvae of sponges don't typically stay in the water column that long, but I'm sure there's diversity in that, as in everything.
Can we get a snap zoom center screen?
This is gorgeous.
I think I see a gorgonian. What do you think, Scott? Nice pink gorgonian.
Yeah, stand by. So this is some kind of one of the bubblegum corals.
Bubblegum, yeah.
In the family Paragorgiidae, possibly the genus Paragorgia. But you can see those thick branches. Well, when we get back to it, the thick branches and the polyps emerge from this thick tissue, and they can completely retract into it. And when they are retracted, it looks like wads of bubblegum.
Mm-hmm.
How they get that common name.
We have a huge specimen back at the museum.
Of a paragorgia? Of a bubblegum coral?
Of bubblegum coral, yeah. It's like 2 meters high.
This one is particularly interesting to me. I'm going to have to check it out, but this is really deep for paragorgia.
Oh, yeah.
So it's kind of unusual to see it here.
I see more of that gray.
Find out what it is.
Would you be interested? I don't know if we can collect here, but yes, actually, there's a sponge fan at 10-ish. Yeah, close to the edge of the screen. It looks kind of like it's got lots of lobate fingers on it. That's different. I don't know what that is. Oh, yes, we do need to do a water sample when you guys have a chance, if that's possible.
Can you catch me up on where we're at with those?
Mm-hmm. This is going to be sample 2, W2, 2W.
So we did not get a sample at the sort of obtaining bottom, yeah?
No.
Okay, good. Just making...
Yeah, I don't think we've moved very much, though. So,
oh, yeah.
Yeah.
We know where we're at.
Yeah.
So this will be our second environmental DNA collection of this dive. The first was at our standard 500-meter depth on the way down. Quite a while ago, since this descent was such a challenge.
Yeah, so we're zooming in on this odd sponge.
Oh my gosh.
Look how cool that is. It's lots of holes. Very porous. Did you guys get it? You got the Niskin? Yeah. Awesome. Yeah, I have no idea what it is, but thank you for that. I see another coral at 9 o'clock.
Yeah, small little guy.
Mm-hmm. It's just to the left of laser. It's very small. Yeah. It's right there. All right. Yeah, you go right there. Yeah. So we have a little pink coral.
Oh, and the little, are those anemones in the bottom left there?
Yeah, it looks like different kind of anemone we've seen. I don't know if this is a bamboo or not, but it sure looks like it could be. I just don't see the...
Yeah, it is.
It is a bamboo, okay.
Yeah, there's a group of them that we say grow as brambles, just like this, tucked down in the rocks, and the branches seem to go all kinds of different directions.
Mm-hmm.
And I usually attribute that to some instability in the rock. It's tumbling, but the colony stays alive, and then so starts to take on a new direction of growth.
Awesome.
Like a
lyre-shaped colony there.
That's got to be...
There in the lower corner.
All right, that's got to be a bryozoan, that little candelabra thing. I think. It's tiny. Again, I see another one of those, probably the similar bamboo corals at noon, I'm sorry. At noon, and then above that there's something pink. Likely Anthomastus, if I'm going to guess from this distance. Is that bamboo coral we saw earlier?
Okay, this is...
There's that same species we collected yesterday, dead center screen. This one has a lot more lobate fingers than the ones we were seeing yesterday, and obviously a lot less.
Certainly not dominating like it was yesterday. So the Tretoplura-like.
Another one at noon. Possibly a can you zoom in on that pink coral at 6 o'clock? Yep, just right below laser. Yeah, I'm not sure if it's alive or just got its tentacles tucked.
Bubblegum coral again, right?
So another Paragorgia. We think this. Scott thinks maybe this is a depth range extension. So we don't see them that common. Now this one has its polyps in. What'd you say, Scott?
I was saying I'm still trying to get information on that, and so right now I'm looking at a review of the family by Juan Sanchez, but it was published in 2005, and at that time the deepest known record of a Paragorgia was 1,500 meters. So
oh my goodness.
Double it, if it were correct. So I'm going to see if I can find any more recent information.
Great.
But it's really important that we get this on the video, so this is great.
Nice anemones colonizing the bottom, or is that?
Yeah, anemones are zoanthids. It's hard to tell.
Could be zoanthids. They look like they might have a connection between them, right?
Maybe. I see, some more squat lobsters.
So really a lot of demo sponges. Usually at this depth you're thinking there's got to be more prominent glass sponges.
If you want to try and collect him?
Yes, absolutely. Yes, perfect.
So you can see him picking the schmutz off the rocks and eating it.
Exactly.
Look, see his little, his really fine, so they're like they pick, right? These ones pick. So you can see they look like two tweezers.
Look, and he passes, he's so neat. He passes the food.
Takes it off the rock and then passes it to his mandibles.
Oh, that's exciting. We'll see if he behaves or if he runs away like the one did yesterday.
Yeah.
Little spines on his back.
You can see the current flowing his antenna around. His little bright orange eyeballs.
I was going to say, I don't want to say negative. He's got his beady little eyes on us.
Yeah.
I wonder if it can actually see.
Yeah, he could be blind. It's hard to, I don't know the species, so some of them are. Oh, no problem.
Yeah, that's okay. Totally understood.
We're just happy to be here.
Yeah.
So
appreciate the attempt, of course.
I see that ant. That is a boulder, man. That is a big boulder, a couple meters tall. The red lasers are 10 centimeters for scale. If you can see the red lasers in the middle of the screen, give you an idea how to estimate size, because the size down here can be very deceiving. A lot of times I think we're picking up this giant beast of a sample, and it gets up here and it's like no bigger than my hand. So it happens a lot. Looks like this dead Hexactinellidus. That's huge. That's a meter wide.
Wow. Yeah, there was some talk earlier about, how these organisms, how sponges might die. And a lot of it, at least hypothetically, centers on the fact that they have this relationships with all these different microbes, and if things get out of whack, otherwise mutualistic microbe might become pathogenic, or so really sort of disease might be why some of these organisms meet their demise, although it's completely speculative. Another Gorgonian coral in the nooks, and there's more. Oh, look under those.
Oh, neat little fan under there. Maybe some Gorgonians.
Yeah, that reminds me of what Scott France was saying about coming upon the overhangs, and there's lots of.
There's a really cool white sponge at now 10 o'clock of screen. Yeah, the edge.
It's got little fingers like Afrocalistes.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. It's similar to Afrocalistes. Afrocalistes are the biomedical research department at Harbor Branch has found anti-cancer agents in Afrocalistes beatrix, and that's one of the common species we find on our deep sea Lophelia reefs. We are way deep, though, right now, so I don't know if it was the same species or not. From this distance, we'd have to collect it or get a better look at it. No, we are on a wall, man. This is almost 90 degrees straight up slope right here.
Wow.
That's neat. And then it's really broken up. The rocks, large boulders. In a totally different community than yesterday.
Yeah, you can see some of these boulders seem to have fallen from above. They're eroded out and tumbled down the slope and are sitting on this little ledge.
Again, these Geodia sponges, these like orangish, well, they're not really orange, tan colored.
Tan.
They're flat top. The top is actually a sieve plate, so if we were to zoom in on it, you'd see little oscule holes. If you're going to zoom in on one of these flat top sponges for me. Yeah.
Yeah.
There's one on the rock right in front of you that looks really good.
Loaves of bread that are cut open.
Yes. Please don't eat that. You will get spicules in your mouth and you will not be happy. And I'm sure it doesn't taste good. Oh, that looks like a, yeah, right, coralisted or something over here at 9. That's that real thick. Yeah, that sponge works. Go ahead. That's good. Yeah, I think so. That's what we're talking about when I say a sieve plate. You can see this top bowl shape, right? And all the oscules are multiple oscules on the top. So I would call this Geodia. I mean, my shoreside sponge experts can disagree with me and let me know if I'm wrong, but that's what I'm going with.
What was your hypothesis? I was just
Geodia. Sponge Geodia, yeah.
Astrophorida?
Geodia? Yes.
Let's raise it up to...
raise it up a taxonomic level? That's fine with me. I will happily do that.
It probably is Geodidae.
Geodiidae? Yeah, I doubt it's the genus Geodia. I don't know. Ooh, hello.
No, that requires spicule work for sure. Spicule work plus genetic work. I know that Paco Cardinal has been working on that group a lot.
Ooh, look at this guy. That's a cool sponge.
That's great. I'm pretty sure that's a demo sponge. It's even though it has that sort of hexacty kind of look to it.
There's another big boulder.
That is a cool big sponge.
That was a cool sponge, yeah. Rosilidae,
Just
maybe.
to give you an update on the Paragorgiidae,
Sure.
Hunting and Pecking has found that there's at least 2 records that I can see of the genus Cibogagorgia, which is in that family, is a bubblegum coral,
Okay.
from 2,500 meters and from 3,400 meters. Both of those were on Davidson Seamount in California.
Oh, okay.
I don't see any records this depth in the Atlantic.
So definitely a
There we go.
collectible
So
if we can get it.
more confirmation that that could be a Paragorgia.
Okay, sweet.
Okay, that's good to know.
I see a pink sponge dead just at 1
Yeah.
o'clock. Can we zoom in on that? That
we
might
have
be
our pink-
Hertwiggia.
Pink purple Hertwiggia, of which there is only a
Yay.
single sample known in the museum, and it.
Yes, if we can collect, is that possible? Are we not in position for that? Yeah, again, getting pulled off.
At least we got a nice look at it, albeit brief. Yeah, it's valuable data, valuable data.
I see a sea star at 4 o'clock. And now it's about 5 o'clock. I don't know if we can get a zoom on it. It's about dead center now. If we snap zoom, I bet we'd see it. Yeah.
There goes a Tina
Snap zoom.
4 in the front.
I see another one of these Africalistes lake sponges at 9. Can we get a snap zoom or no? Not yet. Now it's at 10. Yeah, right, even with your lasers at 9 right now. And you're almost in center screen. That guy right there. Yep, little flower. Sponge flower. Ooh, it's on a stalk.
Oh, that looks quite similar to the
Awesome.
Saccocalyx type thing.
That we saw, yes, that we collected yesterday.
But, yes, that's a form that is definitely re-evolved more than one time within the glass sponges. That's beautiful.
Yeah, we're happy whenever you guys are good. No rush. This looks like a coralisted or something. It's really wide, yellow, flat top sponge here at 6.
Mm-hmm.
And then some more bamboo corals, it looks like, at 6 o'clock as well.
Yeah.
Underneath that dead... What is the name of this dead one we keep seeing?
Is this
Yeah, there you go.
Conolasma?
Yeah, that one.
Yeah. It's CHON.
Thank you.
This is another view of the bamboo coral that we were seeing earlier.
Mm-hmm.
With the Pharea behind it.
And I think it is. Oh, no, I can see nodes. Okay. Because sometimes we find these, and they don't even have nodes, which is very confusing.
Mm-hmm. Another squat lobster at 3-ish, 3, 4. I mean, how many sponges are here? At least 100 and something, just in this one view.
Individuals?
Yeah.
More.
More than that? 200? 300?
Oh, yeah.
I mean, if you count the teeny tiny ones.
I mean,
Yeah.
everything that's sort of white, tan.
Yeah.
Well, except for the bamboo coral.
Yeah.
Or, I mean, the Gorgonians. There's another one of those.
Yeah, these flat top.
Squat lobster.
Yep, squat lobster at 6, right below laser. These white sponges are really weird. The one at 9 and like
Sort of
10:30.
fluffy.
Yeah, the cloudy ones.
Where they're almost transparent on the top of their textures. Yeah. Yeah, we've gotten some good video of them. So. Thick. Now, have you spotted a thick cup-like guy with a wavy rim?
Oh, like Lydermatium? No. Which one is she looking for?
Chris Diaz was mentioning that she sees something cup-like with a wavy rim. Thanks a lot.
Yeah, these stalked. I think these are what I was calling Afrocalistes are these stalked ones we were seeing yesterday.
They just have really short stalks. It's interesting, but they're enough to get them up off the bottom there.
Out compete for food.
Yeah, but actually, in general, we haven't seen a lot of things that are tall, right? Pushing up into the water column here, where we were before. We saw a lot of things.
I would imagine the current is stronger here. Can we look at that sponge at 10 o'clock? Yep. That one right next to laser, yep. One right above laser, there you go. That guy. Yeah, loaf of bread, yeah. So that looks probably like the same. Yeah, okay. I was thinking maybe this was... Oh, it does have a gooseneck particle on it.
I think I see a polyp there at the bottom of it too, huh?
Oh, yeah, look at that.
Is that a...
I have no idea what that is. So this looks similar to the Geodia we saw, or what I was calling astrophorid, right?
Yeah, we could see tens of small sponges just when we zoomed in there.
Yeah. These white poofy ones remind me a lot of the colonial tunicates we find, like in the shallower depths, like mesophotic zone. But, they look similar, but they're not quite as slimy looking. I don't know how to explain it. Yeah, go ahead. Go ahead, Nev. All right, so we only have about a half an hour left. Not much bottom time today, but we made it.
Yes. Challenging, but made it.
Yes.
Is this what you guys expected this bottom to look like?
Yeah.
What do you think?
I don't know what I was expecting. I was just like, let's just get there. Yesterday it was really bold, a lot more boulders, very jumbled piles of rocks along the edge of the wall. This is a lot like it doesn't have that eroded feeling, right? The way that the other rocks did from yesterday. This is more of this. It's more pockmark, like almost like it's more consolidated than it was yesterday.
Yeah, well, we're tucked in a little bit inside the canyon, and on the the on the outside wall, things are tumbling down, presumably because there's this strong southward current cutting under the bottom. And this might be a little protected from that. So there's a little, smaller evidence of chunks falling down from above.
There is a ton of sponges here.
Yeah, it is. I know.
Sponge heaven.
This is the most characteristic sponge on this dive. I don't know if a collection is possible at all. It seems like it's out of the cards. Oh, and there's one of the bubblegum corals.
Yeah, we'd like to get one of those too. Yep, no worries.
No, understood.
Right. Yeah, no worries at all.
Yeah.
And we are sampling with video footage.
That's right. And the environmental DNA, potentially.
This one's neat at 3 o'clock. That's a different kind of sponge there. A little ball, right dead center, right above the laser. Up a little bit. You go a little wider there, Roland. That guy right at the top corner. Yeah. That guy's different. That looks like a typical geodid.
Geodid.
Yeah. He's just different shaped. He doesn't have that furry outside. Like the furry outside gets all the schmutz from the water, like dirt and stuff in it. That one's nice and clean. Again, the rocks are pockmarked, really pockmarked. I see another anemone at 4 fly traps. Another bubblegum coral. I'd say, my goodness, we've seen at least 4 or 5 of those. So
yeah.
Bubblegum corals and the bamboo corals are the most common corals. However, I would not call them common.
Yeah.
I'd call them rare or sparse. Looks like a different one, yellow. Little yellow coral.
Well, that's
nice. Oh, no, that's a zoanthid. That's a zoanthid on top of something.
For sure. I see what you're saying.
Yeah.
You zoom in on something, you're like, those polyps look funny. Oh,
that's not right. That is a colonial anemone that has encrusted, or I guess we could use the word infested. What looks like a dead gorgonian underneath it. And what is this stick here?
Good question.
An anthomassus right there at the base. And Ficalia, you can see the veining on the white fan sponge at 10 o'clock, or on the good side of it where you can see the veins. Stark shear wall. Now here's some more broken up bottom. That's pretty cool. And again, these white poofy sponges are just everywhere. Another geodia, similar to the species we were looking at earlier. Most of this is these small tan-colored geodia sponges. Astrophorid sponges. And the Colonisma, the dead one, the dead hexaxon outlet here at 4 o'clock. I wonder if there was like a mass die-off. They all seem to be about the same size.
They do. You can imagine they
maybe they spread a disease
colonized
or
it, and then maybe
happened.
After growing for an incredibly long period of time, likely, and then maybe a disease, maybe they don't look like they were covered with sediment or something that killed them.
No, I'm not even sure. I mean, I guess the sediment could come down from above, but I only see very fine misting right on the rock surfaces.
Yeah.
Really misted. For the most part, it's not too sedimenty. Yeah, a little fan there at 3. Yeah, it's probably a bubblegum coral, just from distance, but maybe not.
This looks thinner, right?
Yeah, it does.
Than what we were
skinnier.
seeing before.
Polyps are in. Yeah, I think that's what that is.
Yeah, but I wonder if it does.
It's a different funny growth form or a different species.
It seems like it might be, but
What is that?
More to the right?
Yeah, can we just look at noon? There's like a white, that's cream-colored weirdo thing. Yeah, that's super weird. What is that? Okay, what is it? I'm at a loss, people.
Are those eggs?
I mean, it could be an egg sac.
Could be an egg sac laid there.
Honestly, I don't even know what phylum to put it in.
Glad we'll get some video.
How weird is that? It looks like a see-through, what am I looking for? Caterpillar.
Oh. I did not know that's what you were looking for.
Right, because we're under the water, so why would I think caterpillar? But that's what it looks like.
Do you think it could have been a colonial tunicate?
It could be.
That's what Nolan Barrett threw out there.
You got a better idea than I do.
Oh, now I want to look at it again with that in mind. My brain's not working fast enough.
I know.
Shocker.
Yeah. I don't even know what day it is, so that happens out here. It leaves the days of the week real quick. There's a different sponge at 3, too. That's pretty neat. Let's see if go back to that tunicate thingy.
Oh, that's awesome. Oh, okay.
You getting pulled? Okay.
That's all right. No, we can go back and look at the footage, exactly. If it's a colonial tunicate, I think that we can work it out.
Mm-hmm. Geodia pachydermata is what Pocket was saying about the large oscule on top of the Geodia sponge.
Oh, nice.
Nice. Pachydermata, it's named after elephants or something? That's my guess. I don't know.
That's awesome.
So that's the one that was clean, like didn't have all that fur on it, with the large, or is it the one with the sieve plate?
I think it's the one with the large,
with the
brown around the outside.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, large oscule on the top. Again, these elephant ear sponges are pretty common too, nice and tall.
It's nice that Paco is hi Paco.
Oh, the clean one that's large. He's talking about with the one oscule.
Okay.
So Geodia pachydermata. So it's really bouldery here, the cobble size, maybe 10 centimeter, 20 centimeter rock cobble. Look at this one. This one has a little
A sponge growing inside.
Looks
like a pearl, exactly,
Little
inside
pearl in
there.
there. Oh my goodness! Look how big these sponges are.
Little big branch guy up to the right.
Yeah.
Understood.
So we're going to do another eDNA at the end of the dive before we're off bottom, and then do you want to do one on the way up? Was there talk about that?
I think we haven't talked about it, but I think we have more options than that, right? Aren't we only on...
We're only on 2.
2.
Yeah, then we have up to 5, right?
Yeah. Yeah, maybe we can get them in the water column since we haven't moved along a lot. Actually, I take it back. I think we should get 3 while we're on the bottom.
Okay. Want to do it now? Ooh,
yes.
Ooh. I see a black coral right off screen to the right there.
Good eyes.
That's okay. Oh, yeah.
It would be great to take a water sample when you're able. Thank you.
These boulders are humongous. A couple meters tall.
Mm-hmm.
Water sample collected. Thank you.
Terrific.
Dive 07, and that's W3, right?
W3, yes.
Yep, and I see another Anthomastus, a little pink, fleshy, soft coral at 4 o'clock. And then there's another pink one here. What is that? Probably an anemone.
You mean dead center?
Yeah, that looks like a flytrap anemone to me. I see a couple over here too on the edge of the screen, at like 2 and 3.
Pretty abundant.
Yeah.
Another one of those little stocked hexacs in the bottom right.
Mm-hmm. There you go. There's the Anupatharian.
Yeah.
Nice.
I feel like we saw this one or something similar yesterday.
Yesterday? I checked the notes. And then again with these large. Go ahead.
It looks a little bit like the genus Parantopathes.
Parantopathes?
It's got those odd side branches. Maybe it's Cebopathes. I should remember this, but I will look to see if I can get you a better name.
Thank you. Awesome. Yeah.
I take back the Parantopathes. It's definitely not Parantopathes.
Okay.
But it is the black coral, so that's good.
Thanks, pilot.
Yeah, so that's, oh my gosh, 1.5 meters wide. That's a huge. That was a huge sponge. It's dead body, well, or whatever, dead.
Yeah, and the fans to the right. I guess that's what we were looking at yesterday, the Trettopleura-like. And there goes a Medusa through the view. Quickly get the suction sampler, please.
Yeah.
Just kidding.
Nice little undercrop. Hidey holes. Do sponges die of old age? I said, do sponges die of old age?
That is a good question.
I mean, I know I'm supposed to know stuff like that, but I can't know everything. How boring would life be if I knew everything?
Do sponges senesce?
There's another Bubblegum Coral, center screen. They're all really small, these Bubblegum Corals. They're 10, 15 centimeters. It's right below laser. It's a pink, pink fan. Yeah, that guy. Yeah.
It's a good
Nice,
view of it
thank
with
you.
its polyps out.
Yeah, that crazy sponge. Oh, a little part of my brain is saying that that's not really a sponge, that it's a colonial tunicate, but...
The fluffy sponge?
Yeah. That's because it looks really similar to the ones we see. I think I see a star. Brazingid, maybe. Yeah, Brazingid's sea star.
Oh, nice one. This looks similar to the Brisingid we saw yesterday, Freya. To my untrained eye, though. Freyella, excuse me.
Freyella.
Yes, but not necessarily.
That's weird. What is that?
Oh,
What is that?
I feel like I've seen that sitting in the in the Smithsonian.
What is this?
Yeah.
Dead stalk of something. Maybe it's a sponge. I don't know what that is.
Does it look like that? Like
Well, not really. It looked.
nah. So not an axonellid. Like we had something in there that was that we were calling the not hexactinellid.
Good. There's a little yellow ball sponge.
Oh,
This giant yellow ball sponge here at,
on the
at 9.
aging of sponges, Chris Diaz is commenting that some of the sclerosponges can grow 0.1 millimeter per year and
Oh my
leave
gosh.
yearly marks and have been dated several thousand years in age.
Wow. Yeah, go ahead, Nev. Okay, we only have about 4 minutes left, so we'll just keep looking around. Yeah. He has a rosilid or something. We zoom in on that.
Let's go take a look.
Oh, nice.
That's so nice.
I don't know. That looks different than the one we were seeing before, and this one has a really thick, like a clear film on the outside. That looks different than what we were looking at.
With the,
Pretty cool, though.
oh, that is really nice.
Some type of hexactinella.
I think it's a hexactinellid. Hopefully. That was really nice. Really nice. I want it.
Oh, yep, that looks like a chrysogorgid. That'd be the first one we saw this dive, but we saw those yesterday.
Nice. Oh, there's that same sponge again. Just
Yeah.
oh, it's everywhere. It's so much more common than I realized.
Yeah. And then, again, this Geodia, maybe pachydermata.
Yeah.
There's 2 or 3 of those.
Good call on the Chrysogorgia, Stephanie. Definitely what that is. And I think I saw an amphipod in there. Just like we were seeing yesterday, the amphipods are sort of replacing the shrimp and the Chrysogorgia at this depth.
Huh.
Center screen. Can you zoom on that fan right above you? Yeah. So this is a living one of those ones that we were seeing dead. Yeah, snap right there. There you go. That's one that's alive. Right, so if those other brown ones were alive, it'd look like this. It's a white, white with rims almost.
It does look like.
Thank you.
Reminds of conolasma.
It looks partially dead too. You can see the browning on the base of it, on the bottom side. I don't know. South side.
Every once in a while when you zoom in, I think I'm seeing very small stalked crinoids. And they're so small, they're making me think that they're the juvenile stage of the comatulid crinoids.
Oh, nice.
Not actual stalked crinoids. There was one just on that rock by the sponge.
Yeah, I missed it. Only about 1 minute left. All right, we just got our off-bottom water sample.
Thank you. That's 4, right?
Yeah, we had no fish at all.
Yeah, it's 2 days running without any fish diversity. Can't remember if we saw any yesterday.
Hey guys, where do you want to take that last water sample?
Maybe the top of the plateau?
Yeah, near the top of the plateau at 2,800 meters.
I think that's a great idea. I think that would be a really neat spot.
A nice match for yesterday's.
Yeah.
Thanks.
We are off the bottom.
All right, so our summary of the dive today. We are 267 miles from Florida on the Blake Plateau on a feature on the edge of the Blake Plateau called the Blake Spur. We were shooting for a canyon, a little divot in there. I'm not sure where we actually landed, though. The ROV was struggling for the most of the day, but our magical pilots somehow managed to work it out and get us on the bottom. It's a 2-hour ascent, so we had to come up at 2:40 in order to make it to the surface by 4:30ish. The depth of the bottom, we were aiming for 3240. I'm not sure how deep we actually got. We were about 3180 right now.
Let's see, that second water sample was at 3190.
So 3190, okay.
Yeah.
The shallowest point of the feature we were aiming for is 2950, but we on such a short bottom time that we only really got a peek at what we were seeing today, which is just the edge of this wall. The highest slope in this area is about 68 degrees, so it was pretty steep. Anything else? We're doing a sinkhole tomorrow.
We are doing a sinkhole tomorrow.
Okay. And we're going to do our pre-dive briefing now? Is that the plan?
1 minute. Let's get RV Super.
Okay. If you are planning on joining us tomorrow, we are looking at a sinkhole, possible sinkhole that's on top of the Blake Plateau, not too far away from here, for tomorrow's dive, which should be super cool. It's just this random, tiny little hole in the multi-beam. I'm super excited about it. So yeah, if you're going to tune in, if you're planning on having a say in our dive plans, stay on the line. We're going to do our pre-dive briefing for tomorrow soon when we're done with this dive. Anything else today?
Well, just that mainly in terms of life, what we saw on this wall was a diversity of sponges.
Geotids and some hexactinellids.
Yeah.
A few bamboo, there were a few bamboo corals. There was also some bubblegum corals, which might be a range extension for that species. And then we saw those squat lobsters, those bright white squat lobsters that we saw yesterday. For the most part, I think it was just a gorgeous sponge garden. So
yeah.
That was a nice, what we got to see of the wall was really awesome. So go ahead and stay on the line if you're going to help us plan tomorrow's dive. Otherwise, we will see you all in the morning. Have a wonderful evening, and thank you for joining NOAA Ocean Exploration, Windows to the Deep 2021.
And you may want to check out the YouTube link for the live interaction that we had with the White House today.
Oh, yes, definitely. And you can also follow Ocean Exploration on Twitter at Ocean Explorer, or me on Twitter at Deep Sea Nerdy, or Alan on Twitter at Collins_NOAASI. You can also follow Ocean Exploration on Facebook at Ocean Exploration Research, or me at Deep Sea Nerdy, or Alan Collins Zoologist. And then on Instagram, NOAA Ocean Exploration, and then me, Deep Sea Nerd. So have a wonderful evening, and we will hopefully see you in the morning.
Thanks, everyone.
Thank you.
Bye.
Bye.